From the very beginning of gaming, companies knew that they wanted mascots to represent their companies. It could be Nintendo with Mario, Sega with Sonic, or Sony with Ratchet. I think anybody with even a little imagination can imagine how awesome it could be if your favorite characters came together. Now, for most people, the first thing you may think about when you think about video game crossovers is obviously Super Smash Bros. Ever since the 90s with the N64, Super Smash Bros. Defined how to do crossovers. I could imagine how insane it was to see big Nintendo mascots fighting head to head. Now, even though Smash on the N64 had a pretty minuscule lineup, especially compared to the latest entry, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, back then it was really quite amazing to see Mario fighting Link, Samus, and Kirby simultaneously while on stages that take inspiration from many of the franchises. And even today, when Super Smash Bros. Ultimate was still getting DLC, it was like an event to see who the next new character to represent a franchise or company might have been. I think nothing shines better as an example as when Banjo-Kazooie was added to the roster. It was basically a pipe dream to think that we would ever see Banjo added into Smash, as in the early 2000s Microsoft purchased Rare as an in-house studio for the Xbox. This purchase meant that Banjo, which was thought as a Nintendo mascot at the time, was now owned by Microsoft. And seeing as Nintendo and Microsoft are both competing companies with their own consoles, it meant that Banjo was most likely locked in the dreams of Smash fans around. Nowadays, most younger audiences may not think about Smash, but instead the big hit success from Epic Games, Fortnite. Fortnite originally started as a survival tower defense game, but they did not see great success with the game's launch. So when the Battle Royale craze started, Epic added a Battle Royale to Fortnite that was most prominent for its building mechanic. Now, for the most of the first year of Fortnite Battle Royale, it seemed pretty regular until Season 4 came out. In Season 4, Fortnite would have its first collab with a third party. This collab would go on to be for the movie Avengers Infinity War. This collab, they added an Infinity Gauntlet to the game that when you pick it up would turn you into the main antagonist from Infinity War, Thanos. But that would only be the start. By the end of Chapter 1 of Fortnite, we could see collaborations with the NFL, Wreck-It Ralph, Marshmello, Avengers Endgame, John Wick, Stranger Things, Air Jordans, Borderlands, and DC Comics. Fortnite would later go on to collab with huge franchises, companies, and artists such as Lego, Travis Scott, Star Wars, Naruto, and Dragon Ball. And for the first time pretty much ever, we would see huge mascots from Sony and Microsoft be in a game together, such as Halo, Gears of War, God of War, and Horizon Zero Dawn. Now, these are only the most popular example of collaborations between companies. But how about collaborations that are not as well known? Well, there's a whole plethora. One of my personal favorite collabs is from Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed, where not only did you see iconic characters from Sega's lineup of franchises, but on the PC release of the game, you would see special appearance from the Valve software characters Heavy, Pyro, and Spy from the game Team Fortress 2. Not only that, but they ride in an airboat from Half-Life 2. This wouldn't be the first time we see a Team Fortress 2 character cross over into another universe. As in the game Poker Night at the Inventory, the Heavy is heavily featured as a main character, and playing Poker Night at the Inventory would unlock promotional items in Team Fortress 2. Over the years, Valve has become heavily crossed over with, for example, Shell, the companion cube, and the sentry turret from Portal is featured in the game Lego Dimensions, where if you bought the Portal 2 Lego pack, you would gain access to Shell in the game, and it even unlocks a portal level inside, where you would be even seeing the portal gun get used for puzzles in the game. Now, of course, you can't really talk about crossovers without talking what, in my opinion, is the coolest collab you'll ever see. In 1999, the brand manager and creator of Final Fantasy franchise were planning on making a game with freedom that Super Mario 64 offered, but were lamented as they thought only Disney characters would be popular enough to rival a Mario game. It just happened that Square and Disney shared a building in Japan. So one day, in the elevator, brand manager Shinji Hashimoto had a chance encounter with a Disney executive. Hashimoto would directly pitch the idea of this game to Disney. This game went on to become Kingdom Hearts, a crossover between various Disney franchises and the Final Fantasy franchise. In just the first game alone, you saw Moogles from the whole Final Fantasy franchise, Squall Leonhart, who is the main protagonist of Final Fantasy VIII, as well as appearances from Aladdin, The Little Mermaid, Tarzan, Nightmare Before Christmas, Beauty and the Beast, Peter Pan, and Alice in Wonderland. All in all, I feel like video game crossovers, while becoming more and more common, are just as special as they have ever been. Whether it's your Mario and Sonic's, Marvel vs. Capcom's, or of course, Super Smash Bros. You can always expect that when you hear that some character is crossing over with another, that you will want to be there.